Welcome to Actual Scale Modelling. For minutes building this Airfix Type 97 medium tank Chai. This is a Japanese tank which I've never built before, so this will be interesting. Scale is 1/76. On the back of the box you can see the paint guide here. Not sure what paint guide I'm going to be doing, but it's my intention to have this captured by the Russians in a diorama. So it'll be sort of maybe Russian markers, I don't know yet. So in the box we have a very small decal sheet. We have the instructions. Now again, this is an old kit by Airfix, so there won't be much to the instructions. Yeah, one page here. Yeah, there's only one page. So that won't take me long to build. The actual kit itself, let's have a look at this. A little bit of flash on the kit, not much, nothing to worry about. I'm just looking to make sure everything's there, it appears to be. Yeah. So we've got the track, 2 sprues, 2 parts that are off the sprue. So yeah, this won't take long at all to build. So I'll go off and prime it, then we'll get into the build. Starting off with the rims, and it's Life Colour, Dirty Black Shades, UA734, and this is just for the rims of the wheels. So I'm now using Humbrol 102 Army Green for the wheels. This is just the base coat. It's also the same colour I'll be using for the main base coat throughout the build on the tank. I'll be painting most of the base coat on the sprue like I normally do. This saves time and easier to hold the components. So 113 rust is the base layer of the track. So just like every other track that I've done. And this colour that goes around the turret is also 113 rust. Onto the actual construction now. Starting off with the wheels, there's 4 on each suspension spring that you have to build up first. These wheels are very thin and you may have to open up the hole to fit into the connection point because they are quite tight as well. Do not push them in too hard or you'll end up snapping the wheel. Back to the track, and I'm using Humbrol's 53 gunmetal for the top coat, and I'm just lightly brushing this over to give the rubber metal effect look. Now it's back to the wheels and to apply them to the sidewall of the tank. Again, like with the suspension springs, these are incredibly tight, so you may wish to open them up slightly by placing your hobby knife in, just twisting around, just slightly opening up. Doesn't take much, you're only shaving a tiny bit off so they can fit in, but remember, do not push them in too hard or they will split. Smaller wheels you shouldn't have any difficulty with. They stack on top of each other, so there's a bottom one with a little location pin that goes into the racer as well. Then the top one just stacks onto again with another location pin. Placing on the track now, and the quality of these are not brilliant. In fact, one of them snapped as I stretched it over the wheels. So what I'm having to do now is I'm gluing it to the underside of the armour, so just above the wheel as an anchor point before stretching it around. It's not ideal, but it's the best that I can do with a broken track. It is sort of camouflaged in a way. You can't really notice it as such, but it is annoying. So if you're doing this kit, just be aware that the tracks are very fragile, and even though you join them in the normal way with these rubber tacks, adding a little bit of heat source to the end to weld them together, they may snap. So that's alright, I'll hold it for a few minutes. It is a bit smushed up there. You can quite work out a bit. just have to live with that. Next to go in is the gun mount, and that just goes in the inside part of the hull, on the top part of the hull. There is a couple of location points to guide you in to place this in. You can put the gun in now if you wish, but it doesn't really matter if you leave it off. Time to put the main hull on. This is quite tricky. If you use the side here as a guide, the indentation there and there, and then just line up, should be okay. So there's not a lot of contact point on it, so I have to make sure it's dry. And then for the second track wall to go on, as I said, it is a little bit difficult to fit these. The instructions are not 100% clear, so you really have to work it out how best you're going to do this. But I highly recommend try fitting these before you decide on the placement. Bearing in mind the belly of the tank has still got to go on, so you need it to get 100% straight along the sidewall there. Connecting the back armour plate. Now the instructions say put this on at a later stage, but I prefer to do it this way. That way I can easily line up the belly of the tank first, or the underside if you prefer. The instructions, as I said, says place on the underside first, but after dry fitting it, I think this is probably the best way to ensure a better fit. Don't wait until it sets though, because you will have to push it into position. Yeah, so the instructions sort of think the bottom part, then cap, but it's better to put the thing up and the armour plate in first, then the belly. This is the rear armour plating. Two location points there, the recess holes. Yeah, this part here fits in there, so you're going to have to fit that after you fit this. Otherwise it will not fit in. So luckily that's not set yet. So I'm just placing it in, then I'll just put this back down. Let it set. And heads up like that. Forward gun. So gun barrel says 53 umbro. Gun metal. So putting the main turret together, the bottom half first. You can connect the rear gun at this stage to the turret. At the initial look it looks like it goes inside, but it doesn't. It connects on the outside of the turret. Then moving on to the forward gun mount. This slightly strange on the way you do this. You can either put in the cover for the turret before you put this on, or you can go with the instructions and put it on now. Either way, you shouldn't have much of a problem. At the top, it sort of lips around the top of the turret, which enables you to push in the cover for the turret. So this is the top of the turret going in now. As you can see there, I'm just sliding it in underneath the mount. So we've got this guardrail collar thing, and you can see it's got 5 little prongs going down. On the turret there's little recess points for them to go in, and the contact location points are here. So I've dry fitted it, so it does actually fit, which surprised me. So just drop it on. You line up these two first, then the 3 just automatically drop in and gently press them down, and that should be good enough for the contact. So I haven't quite finished the turret. There's this top hatch got to go on. It's on the top here. The last to go on are the exhausts. You just pop on the end here. Well, all that's left to do is put on the turret, which is a bit tight. So, tiny adjustment. That's better. So we can turn it. So I'm starting off with Umbro 30 dark green. And there's a couple of more colours that are involved in this camouflage, which will just go around. So I'm just painting in the dark green first. Now I'm using River Aquacolor 82 Dark Earth. The instructions are calling for 29 Dark Earth for Umbro, but I've run out of that colour, so I'm using this one instead. I'm just following random lines. I mean, you can obviously look at the pattern on the box, which is here, for the camouflage obviously, but more often than not it's easier just to paint in your own markings as such. Next is Umbro 94 Brown Yellow, and these are just little wormy stripe things, not too thick, and they just complement the colour, I suppose. Don't know why they're there. It does look a bit strange, but that's all they're getting shown anyway. So that's it done. Doesn't take much painting at all. So I'll let that dry, put a clear varnish on it, and then I'll put in the registration decals. So now I'm just putting the varnish on, the paint's dried. Doesn't take a lot of varnish for these little models. And I'm using Pledge Clear Floor Polish. So now it's time to put on the decals, and there's actually not that many decals here. There's only 4 of them, so quite easy to put on, not time consuming at all. I'll put the first one on. This is the little Japanese star. Softening up the decal on warm water using a decal solution, which is the microsol, and then I'm just working around the tank, putting on the rest of the decals. As I said, there's only 4 to put on. There wasn't any main issues with them at all. They went on very easily. And that was really simple, very quick to put the decals on. Take about an hour or so to dry, however. So that's the build complete. It was a really nice little build, apart from the track that snapped and disintegrated, which I've had to glue inside there. But it's a nice little tank to build. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other 176 builds. There's quite a few of them there now. Also check out the channel for my other content. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified of my future builds and obviously any updates. Hit that like button and of course leave a comment. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.